the event? No, I've got it here. The weekend of Friday, October 2nd, 3rd, and 4th.
It's actually going to be October 11th.
The
following week.
Oh,
the following week.
Okay.
Yes, we found out.
Then you already changed the date.
Yes, the date.
Okay, so my information here isn't totally in.
It just happened, so we're in good shape.
So what is the date now?
Today is October 11th. That's Sunday morning.
Okay. So now, talk to me about the kind of the long-term vision, aside from the event. Is there a way out of this? Is there a way out of this, or is it just hoping that the economy improves? Is there, Mr. Stoller was rather kind, I think, to the powers that be, saying their hands are tied.
Sure.
But is there some advocacy out there that you'd like to see more of that could help, or is there none?
No, I think that I think the power is within the community, and we advocate for ourselves. And our hope is
that's the Bronx spirit, I must tell you.
I hope so. That's what we've come to learn, and we hope that as the community comes together to support itself, that's really what it boils down to. And it's difficult to have the time when you're doing direct services work to be able to come up with creative fundraising opportunities, because the funds are always needed. That's always the issue. And we're hoping for this to be an annual event, and so it'll be something we can look forward to every year. We thought about this before the economy had really taken such a downturn, and so this is something it's not necessarily about meeting that economic need. It's more about an unmovable force. The Bronx is all about mobilizing itself and about being a tight-knit community that can support itself.
In some of the reading that I did, they talked about each borough. Are other boroughs going to have they had events like this, or is the Bronx starting off something that had never been done before?
Yeah, to our knowledge, there's not been an event like this before. It's we hope that it's unique, and this will be the pilot run. We'll see how it goes, and definitely build on it and expand it each year. We do have nonprofits that are participating from other boroughs, but the actual walk will take place in the Bronx.
Are you at a point now where you can tell us, because you said they'll start in a number of different places, I'm assuming in different neighborhoods? Can you tell us?
So we've got a few of those. So Van Colteren Park,
okay.
Soundview Park, St. Mary's Park. We also have Joyce Kilmer and Pelham Bay Park.
So basically how it'll work is, let's say there's community centers or other not-for-profits in those areas. They will gather there and then literally walk from Soundview Park to Orchard Beach?
That's correct. And some will run and some will bike.
And there is an attention thing here too. There's a publicity thing. The notion that all these organizations will be literally more. I see that Mr. Jimenez you like that idea.
Right.
Huh?
I love the idea. I love the idea of seeing a street down across the Bronx where there's multiple banners walking down and promoting the work that they do. It's not about one cause or one agency. It's about those little storefront groups that are actually taking care of more people than the bigger organization or even the city itself.
We have talked about this on a number of different levels in a number of different ways over the years, but and maybe the Bronx really is the place to start, because we've had our Don't Dump on the Bronx campaigns and everything else, and I think there's a spirit here that, you know what, we're not asking anybody else anymore, we're going to do it ourselves. And I think the vision, again, using that word, of people taking the streets and taking control and saying this is what we want for our community is a very good thing. Mr. Bomgardner, talk to me about the range of organizations that might qualify. We have a wonderful viewership, and many different people who represent organizations might be watching and say, yeah, I don't know if that's my organization. So run through the gamut of who might participate.
501c3 nonprofits.
All of the above.
Yes, sir. So we have some.
Be specific. Let's attract some people to.
We have arts and culture organizations that basically run off of no budget, that just have volunteers, no paid staff, all the way up through very large organizations that have hundreds of staff.
All right, and let's articulate specifically how they are going to raise money. Do they need, if you're a small arts organization, you need to get parents, you need to get your staff. What do you do, and how do you raise money?
So as we get closer and closer to the event, we'll be able to provide those organizations with all the marketing materials to be able to go out and have ways for those individuals to raise money for those organizations.
So in other words, they're going to go out and then they're going to reach out to the community and say, hey, would you sponsor me to run?
Yep, people that support them already. This is just an avenue for them to really to get out there and show their support.
Mr. Jimenez, talk to me about the response you've been getting. I'm assuming you've already started talking about this.
Yes, I have. I have reached out to most of my membership list, and quite a few of them get it and immediately see that it is a very easy way of raising badly needed funds. Some think it's too good to be true.
Really?
Absolutely. It's one comment I heard was, this sounds like a pyramid scheme. I said, it's not.
A legal one, please.
No, and my response to that was, absolutely not, because any money that you raise or that your walkers raise goes directly back to you. There is no middleman. There's no paying the organization and 3 months later you receive a check. Any money raised goes directly to the nonprofits.
How do organizations get involved? People who might be watching the show and they say, you know what, I got a not-for-profit, could be a school, it could be a community group, could be a dance program, it could be just about anything. We have so many wonderful programs in the Bronx. What do they got to do?
So Teresa Miles, mission-related director, and through World Vision also, we have the applications and registrations available, and we'll be able to get them signed up. We have information sessions every Thursday at 2 o'clock at the World Vision Storehouse on 138th Street, and so that's open for any organization that's interested. We've
got some phone numbers I know that Jane is going to put up. One thing I did want to mention is that the organizations and World Vision have been, and you've used the term mission-related, and it's the name of the organization. But I noticed very clearly one of the members of the host committees is the executive director of the Metropolitan Council on Jewish Poverty. This is not a secular, there may be a faith-based initiative behind it, but this is not a secular thing where it's like one ethnic group or one religion is saying this is really a Bronx thing, right?
It is.
I want to be very clear about that.
It's as diverse as the Bronx is.
Which is pretty diverse. Jane, let's put some of the numbers now. There's the number up there, 292-5600, right?
That's correct.
That's for World Vision.
That's for World
Now,
Vision.
if you call in, can you get information about the dotORG-athon?
Yes.
Okay. And Mr. Jimenez, for your organization, for people who've heard and want to support the organization in any way, how do they get to you and how do they go about doing it?
They could either reach us online, which is New York City Clothing Bank, all written out, .org, or they could call our office, 718-492-4015. We're there Monday through Friday, 9 to 4. We are very much in support of this event. We're pushing our partners. We're going to be one of the walkers there. You know, one of the things you asked me is how do these organizations get this to happen? I took this to my advisory board. Each one of them has committed to not only taking part, but having their families take part, having their friends and coworkers take part. So that is the movement.
You know, there really is,
build.
I have to tell you, just listening to what you're saying, there really is a very obvious dual agenda. One is raising money. That's number one. Number two is what I said earlier, empowering the agenda of not-for-profits, letting everybody know that we all rely on these organizations, we all need these organizations, and we really are going to take the streets over and establish that kind of from a public relations standpoint, as it were.
That's the hope, yes,
okay.
Definitely.
And let's put out the phone number one more time, and then we'll wrap it up. The phone number to call World Vision so you can participate on what date?
It's October the 11th, Sunday morning.
All over the borough of the Bronx. It's going to be a gorgeous October
Be a wonderful
morning.
day.
Be a wonderful day. Everybody will show up and then go to the beach. What could be better than an autumn day at the beach? And we'll raise money and awareness about the importance of not-for-profits. Tim Bomgardner from World Vision, thank you so much.
Thank you for having me.
Luis Jimenez, thank you so much, and thank your organization, the New York City Clothing Bank, for all you do.
Thank you.
And also, of course, thank you to Michael Stoller and the Human Services Council. Folks, if you have further comments or questions on anything you heard on tonight's show or anything going on in the Bronx, then email them to us at BronxTalk@hotmail.com, and we'll read those on the air during a future program. Also, if you've missed anything on the show, we post them on the air, on the web, at bronxnet.fligo.com/category/BronxTalk. Now, next week, we'll make a federal case. Our guest will be Congressman Elliot Engel. We haven't talked about national issues in a long time, so that should be good. We hope you will join us this Monday and every Monday night at 9 for Bronx Talk here on BronxNet's Channel 67. you.